You are never alone. You may not physically have people around you all the time, but what about your connections in the spirit world? Why don't you consider them to be present in your life? Let's do a review on how many and who they are. First, you have your spirit family that you came from and who followed you here into this lifetime. Most likely, it's a large spirit family because it has grown over the eons that this reincarnation process has been going on for you. These are the people you collaborated with when you decided to incarnate into this lifetime. They helped you plan the experiences you were going to have and what you would learn from those experiences. If your spirit family isn't enough, you also have family members and friends who have crossed over from this lifetime. Add the others from other lifetimes that you have a connection to. Even though they may not be as active as your spirit family, they come and go. They still care about you and love you and want to help. They are now in a position where they can help you, even if they couldn't when they were here. You also have your higher self. Your higher self knows you better than you do and tries its best to keep you out of trouble, even though you have that free will. Anytime you have a question or a comment to run by someone, you should slow down and breathe so you can talk to your higher self first. Pay attention to the impressions, understandings, and messages you get when you consult your higher self. Believe it or not, there are also other spirits and people who have crossed over that find you interesting and want to talk with you. So you can never say you are ever alone. You have an army of spirits of all kinds that you can connect with. You will find that out by asking well thought out questions and demanding clarity in return. You must write it all in your journal so you can see the connection building. Doing this, not only will you get the answers you seek, but you will discover which one of these many spirit helpers are the best to ask about certain things, like specialists. Summary: we have told you this before. You are never alone. You have more spirit friends who want to help you than you can imagine. It's only by taking advantage of all this knowledge and clarity that you can make your life much easier. How it works. The veil between worlds has never been thinner. That's because you are ready, finally ready. When using your intuitive gifts, you will tire quickly in the beginning. It's like starting to use muscles you haven't used in a long time. However, it will feel familiar to you. Many people feel anxious when they first start waking up. They feel an urgency and can't learn this stuff fast enough. You are feeling all of this because you are beginning to realize why you are here. Nothing feels more important than pursuing this new path you are on. You are on your spiritual path, and to many, it's very different than the path of the previous ones you've been on. It's what's been missing.
There's a lot of people who want to talk to you.
I know. You mean spirits?
No, I mean, we're here on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. We're going to turn them on.
All right. We're just going to turn you guys, turn your volume up.
Okay. Veronica.
Hi.
Nina.
You guys.
And Rebecca Andrews.
Rebecca.
We don't see her, but go ahead. Speak up.
Yeah.
She's there, Rebecca. Great,
Everybody,
you guys.
Say something, Nina.
Hi. How are you?
Great. We can hear
Stellar.
And how about Veronica?
Veronica,
Yeah, hi, everybody.
you're
Very
always
good.
nice and clear.
You
Joy,
Hey, how are you doing?
I've been out in the Arizona sun, as you can see. Veronica has a purple theme going on here. Purple coffee cup too, or
Oh, yeah.
She's coordinated.
fall colors, All right. We missed you guys. We were busy.
You guys, what do you want to talk about regarding today's insight?
Mm.
Who wants to go first?
Don't make me pick somebody.
I'll go.
Okay. All right. I was going to pick you anyhow because you're first up in the corner.
I went ahead and I read the message earlier, so I went ahead and asked that question that you said, who are helping me? And I got a similar message, angels, spirit guides, soul family that has passed on, and friends. I asked if there were any that were more, I had more connection with, and the answer I received was a guardian angel named Josiah, two guides, Jacob and Peter. And then I asked, well, are all the angels and guides more of a masculine energy? Because it seems like my crew seems to be masculine. And they said no, but it just is that for me. And then they said that one person that was a good friend to me at one time who has passed on was like a guardian angel in a living form while he was here, but not here anymore.
Do you know who that is?
His name was Gary Fogel, and he was briefly in my life, maybe two years or so. He lived a block away. We worked at the same place. We hung out. Our goal was to eat our way through Louisville, Kentucky, eat at every restaurant that was there. Just buddies, but always,
But always what?
always, I always could count on him, no matter what.
Okay, so he referred to himself as an angel in this life while he was in this lifetime serving you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So someone you could always count on. Is that what you said, Joy?
Yes.
Okay. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone you can always count on.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Joy.
I moved to Louisville. I was a traveling nurse, and I mean, there's like 3 bridges, and I just kept getting over to Indiana and missing the hospital I was supposed to work at, and then we saw that we were neighbors, and no matter what, even if I had a financial problem or whatever, he would help me, which my own family didn't help me.
That's amazing. Oh, you know how all of us know how rare that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joy, have you ever had an experience like that with somebody since?
No. And then one night, a couple years ago, I was sleeping and I just thoughts of him kept going through my mind. And I went to my computer to look up to see where he was. He got married. His wife didn't really like that we were friends, and so we were no longer able to be friends. Yeah. And there was the first thing that popped up was his obituary. So
did he cross over?
He had actually been dead a couple years by that point, and I didn't know. So the obituary popping up very first thing was unusual.
Yeah.
Because, but I think he was making a connection there.
He was letting you know where he was. He was letting you know where he was, all right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that, I've been lucky enough to have a handful of those type of people in my life, and it's like they're people you never forget.
Yeah.
They change you, you know.
Part of you somehow. I mean, we were like frickin' frack. I'm about 5'9", and was maybe 5'2". I mean, and we just went everywhere and did everything together.
That's great. And how long was he in your life?
Just a couple years.
Okay, that's usually what happens, by the way. So when you think about that, you guys, when you think about, or you bump into it going forward, all right, you want to, that's why it's important to write these things down so you don't miss them. Because when you were in it, Joy, did you realize that he was this special?
I knew that I never wanted him to not be part of my life. I was immediately drawn to him, and like I recognized him, as a friend before we even were friends. And
that's good. So she recognized him even before they were friends. So this is not a new relationship, even though it seemed to be a new one, only because it's this lifetime. This has been something that's followed you both, that he valued as much in you as you valued in him. You returned what he gave you. You gave back, and you were there for him no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. See, that's what it is. That's kind of like a soulmate feels.
Yeah.
In your life. When you have a soulmate in your life. And was this, I'm going to keep questioning Joy so you guys can get your head around this. When you guys talked and you were friends, was it always easy? Or were there times when you guys would challenge each other?
I think that I could accept anything that he said, even though he gave me advice. I mean, at one point, I had this woman who moved into my house. I offered her because she said her boyfriend was beating her, and she quit work, and I couldn't get rid of her. She was in my house. And he did tell me that he wouldn't be my friend anymore if I kept paying all her bills. And
there you go. Okay. That's very similar to a soulmate. A soulmate will be in your life for a couple of years. I mean, usually this is how they work. It's not a soulmate. It's not like you're, someone necessarily that you're going to marry and be with, on the forever list. A soulmate many times is somebody who gets you real with your life, right? That sounds like what he did with you.
Yeah. Later on, as I've realized different things, and then after the girlfriend, which he married, wouldn't let us be friends anymore, then you really see what you're losing. But maybe it wasn't supposed to be for any longer than that.
Right, but you were considerate of him. You honored his wishes and just let it go, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, this is what a soulmate relationship is like, you guys, and it's not always easy, but it's something you'll never forget. It changes you. It changes your life. So anyway, thank you for sharing that, Joy. You guys, what did that prompt in you? Your connections in the spirit world. What did that prompt in you? What Joy just shared. You guys remember anything from what's happened in your own lives?
I had something. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sure. Nice and
Okay. I had something happen similar to that recently, and it was really strange. I don't think I mentioned this in the previous thing, but I went to lunch at a restaurant that's about an hour from here, and I was with this friend of mine, and I told her, I said, gosh, I remember the last time it was a nice Italian restaurant. And I said, I remember last time I was here, and it was right before I got married. And this friend of mine who I had dated before my ex-husband, he had found out that I was engaged and invited me out to dinner or to lunch. And I was hesitant to go, but went on and went. And he asked me, he said, why haven't you been returning my calls? And I'm like, I didn't know that you've been calling me. And come to find out, at that time, I had a job where I traveled a lot, and my dad would come over to the house to feed the cats. And we had, it was before cell phone, and we had the, what do you call that? That recorder we used to
Answering machine.
answer machine. Yeah.
That's ancient
We
history.
remember.
Nina.
We remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And my dad would see the light blinking and all, so he would just delete the messages.
Oh, that's funny.
So I
Oh.
didn't know he was had been calling. So anyway, Mark had told me, and he said, I've been trying to reach you for a long time. And he asked me about my fiance at the time, and I told him, and I told him about we had an old historic home we were remodeling, and he said, and what is your plan for that? Do you have a 20-year plan, or is this a 5-year plan, or what? And I wasn't sure, but I went home.
What did he mean by the plan? What plan was he referring to?
For the house,
Okay.
for the renovations.
Okay, got it.
But so anyway, then I knew I had a decision to make, but I went on and all, and I married my husband and all, and it did work out that we had a,
You married your fiance.
yeah,
Okay.
and it did turn out to be 20-year plan for renovations on this house. He told me, he says, I give you 10 years and that
Wow.
marriage is not going to work. And it
Oh,
was around 10 years. The other guy had told me that. And he told me to keep in touch with him. And even though, and then when I got my divorce and all, I knew where he was and all, and I tried reaching him, and he had retired, and they had told me he had moved to Orlando, Orlando was where my mom was and my sister are then, but I thought, too much time has passed and all, I'm not going to reach out to him. But my girlfriend says, well, what happened to him? And I went on and looked him up and found his obituary, and he had just died in the spring.
wow.
And I thought, gee, wonder what would have happened had I, but anyway, I felt him around there for about a week or two. And I felt like that.
After you realized he was gone?
Yeah.
So see how the connection in the spirit world, see how it
Yeah.
continues to exist, right, Nina?
Yeah.
It doesn't just, anybody who crosses over, especially when you had something, it doesn't matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You had a relationship with them. You had an experience with them. You shared some of your life with them, okay?
Yes.
They feel the same connection to you. So just because they left this plane doesn't mean that's gone, all right?
Yeah.
So now, do you feel his connection? How long ago was that, Nina?
Oh, it was a month or two ago.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
He's out of here. He's got no more pain. He's got no more stress, okay?
Yeah.
He's in a place that you're not.
Yeah.
That's what they mean by they can help you. They don't need help. They're fine where they're at, all right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that we're still working through this process, this life we, signed up for to learn these things we came here to do.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's around you for a reason. Do you know why he is? What is it? I mean, he came in when you were getting married. All right, you had a fiance. You guys were buying this house, and you were going to fix it up. And it was, you already had commitments. And so he kind of hung back. He did the right thing. He pulled back. You were already going in another direction.
Yeah.
But what about
And I had to go through that experience, obviously.
Okay, so how did he help you? And when he was in this life with you, what was the impact he had on your life?
What was the impact he had on my life? I'm not really.
What do you remember about him that was the most striking?
That was the most striking. I don't know. We dated a little bit, no, but
So was it more of a relationship where he was leaning your way than you were leaning his way?
he's got something that I don't. He's got this money thing, and he's very good business-wise and financially, and I'm not. And I wanted to go out and play.
Okay.
And
okay.
he wanted to.
Okay, so where do you find yourself in your life now regarding what he was good at? And that was money management, money.
Yeah.
Okay? That's where you could ask him to help you.
Okay. Yeah.
Because when they leave, it doesn't mean that they lose all those abilities. They take them with them. I mean, they mastered this in this lifetime and many lifetimes.
Yeah, I remember he shared with me some books and all on some old, what is it, the greatest, I don't remember. I've got the book and all, but
it's regarding managing.
Regarding finances.
Okay.
Finances.
Okay. So do you still have those books?
I do. I've got one right up on my shelf up here and all too. Yeah.
Hey, Nina, I would suggest, here's what I would do, because he's around you now. I would suggest that you pull one of those books down, the one that strikes you the most.
Yeah.
And start reading it.
Yeah.
And
he also gave me Tony Robbins' book, The Awaken the Giant Within.
Right. So what he wants to see you do, he wants to see you come out. He wants to see you blossom in a way that you haven't done before, because you got lost kind of playing and stuff. You know?
Yeah, I got muddled.
You know, that's okay. That's okay. But
stuck in the mud.
now you're a little bit you're a little older now, and a little bit more. You've had more experiences and stuff, and you've had time to play, which was important for you to do. And now you can focus on that a little bit better, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, he hasn't gone anywhere, Nina, and he's there to help you. But you have to walk that way. You have to go that way.
Yeah.
And so follow that lead. And he hasn't been gone very long. Just tell him, I'm gonna take you up on that. What's his name?
Mark.
Nina's talking to Mark. Mark, I'm gonna take you up on that, Mark. I'm gonna go that way, the way that you tried to kind of guide me when you were here. Because I'm kind of ready for it now. And tell what you want. Write it in your journal. Write to Mark in your journal. Get your journal out and write in there, in the journaling part, the part 3 part, and write a letter to Mark. Write it in here. Open it up and start writing to Mark. Say, Mark, I know that you always wanted to help me, and I'm going to let you. And I'm going to start reading some of those books you gave me that I still have.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you help me, Mark. And I'm going to be open to what you suggest. And when I get that insight from you, that guidance, I'm going to write it in my journal so I don't forget what came through. And I'm going to date it, and you're going to be in there, Mark. All right? He's going to love that. He's going to perform for you. He's going to. Yeah. Okay, so that's the way you need to go with this, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you do from this session today. That's what you're going to move on, okay? And it's gonna clear up your financial life, which I know you want to do. Okay?
Yes.
That's good. That was real good.
I know that and what I'm telling you works, but you've got to do it, all right? You've got to do the writing. You've got to write to Mark. He's going to love that, Nina.
I felt like even when we were in that restaurant, I just felt like he could just walk in the door.
You need to start writing to him, because he's going to receive it dead on, and he's going to be right there. Nothing is in his way from helping you now. All right?
Yeah.
Nothing's. Yeah. It's totally unconditional and with all the love you can imagine. Great one.
Thank you.
Who's next? Who wants to go next? Tell us something. Give us something, just like these two guys did, like Joy and Nina did. Go ahead.
I'll go ahead and go. This is Veronica. Let's see. The one person that I'm definitely aware of on the other side is my dad. He's the only one that I'm totally certain about, or maybe some of his brothers, my uncles. So I would like to know more about, although I think that message about the money for Nina would be good for me and my dad too, because he was very good at money too. So as you were telling Nina what to do, I was like, oh, I should do that with Dad. So I think I will.
And so, it's interesting that Nina shows up tonight. Nina can't always make it, she's busy working and stuff.
Yeah.
But Nina shows up tonight and gives that, and that shows up in Veronica. You're here, and how it works. So,
yes.
So Veronica, do you feel your father around you or your uncles around you?
Yeah, and right now as I started talking, I feel super hot.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, so which one came forth? Which one felt like they were present, or a multiple of them? I mean, what's going on? Tell me what you felt.
My dad and my Uncle Ray. My Uncle Ray comes through for me many times, so I feel like both of them. Yeah.
So Ray,
I love that name.
Yeah.
It's good that he loves that name. It's a good thing.
Nobody names their kids Ray anymore.
Okay, so are we okay?
That's right. When we were younger, there were a lot of kids named Ray.
I know.
That was a big name.
Yeah.
It's nobody names their kids Ray anymore.
Okay, so we want to go with Veronica. Veronica, we're going to talk to her guides, all right? I think Veronica's kind of open-ended on this. She wants support financially from people who have mastered that financial thing, right, Veronica?
Yeah.
And the two in your life, you brought up Ray. You mentioned your dad, but you really leaned into Ray more. You did do that. So even if you don't realize you did that, that's what you did.
Okay.
We're going to ask.
Ray's an uncle?
He's an uncle, right. And so we're going to see what Ray has to say.
Great.
Times.
What Ray has to say today.
We're just going to let him talk to you, okay? And here we go.
Hello, honey. You must learn a major lesson about wealth. Wealth is never the things you can buy. Wealth is the things you have that you love because of their value to you in your life. It's not a situation where people try to have what others have, because they all end up having the same things, and no one's happy. You must look at the value of something and what it brings to your life, rather than what anything costs.
Now remember where he's coming from. He's coming from a place where you can't take this money with you, where he is.
Right.
And he realizes that the whole journey in being here is to learn about the things that you can take with you, the things that make you more than you were before you got here. Okay?
Right.
So he sees things from a different perspective than the world that we live in. The world that we live in, Veronica, really is so caught up in money.
I know.
It's just so out of control. And what it does is it takes it takes anybody who's got a perspective on money, and they try to squeeze them. And, everything costs more money. And you can't do this unless you have more money. And it's all about money, And so it challenges you, It could even make you doubt yourself,
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big, in fact, you guys, I got to say this about money. We came into this lifetime as a group soul, the baby boomers, all right? And one of our biggest lessons in this lifetime, besides not living a fear-based life, is to deal with our money issues, okay? We're overweighted in this thing about having money. We got to have money because we need new stuff, and we got to go places and stuff like that. And even after we have that stuff and we go into those places and we do all that stuff, we have all that stuff, we need more money. We just need more of the thing that trapped us in the first place. So what he's asking all of us to do, okay, he comes through, he tells Veronica this, but really it's a message for everybody who's here tonight, is to get a better perspective about this thing with money. I'm not saying that money is not a good thing, but here's how I feel about it. Here's the feeling I get about money is, instead of worrying about getting something, think about giving. It's just like in Guided, when I talked about when my life was in childhood, when I was in a very dismal situation and I didn't know what to do for myself. What did I do? I helped someone else, okay? And when I helped someone else, I started seeing things from a clearer perspective, okay? So, and then I could help myself. I mean, I could see things. I could get out of my own way. So money's the same thing. If you guys are fighting this money thing, and everybody has been pushed to their limit regarding money, right? Then what you need to do is give some money or something of value. It doesn't have to be money. Money represents value. Something of value, something where you give your time, you give your expertise, you give something you don't need anymore to somebody who could use it. You help someone else with regard to that money issue, all right? And all of a sudden, this money thing will start clearing up. You'll start seeing things. Here's another thing that it will do. When you help somebody else, you will get help. You don't ever know where it's going to come from. It's not something you go, well, I think I'll help somebody because I need help. It's not a conditional thing. You go out there with an open heart and you do it unconditionally. You help somebody else. With regard to this money value thing, it's value. He used that word, value, all right? So you do something that's valuable to somebody else. And it's just like money, exactly like money. And it will come back at you. This is the way the universe works. It's the beauty of the way it works. Now let's take the other opposite approach to that. Let's say you want money and you're going to go get some money. You just want the money. You don't care about, I know you guys think better than this, but somebody could say, I don't care. I need the money. I need to pay the rent. I got to have the money, the money, the money. Okay, and they just won't stop. The lack will show up in your life because you're begging and screaming and yelling for something that you lack. So that's what you'll draw in. I'm only telling you guys that if you want something like that, like Nina's going to write to Mark. As Nina's writing to Mark, she's going to find that she's going to discover things that are happening while she's doing that she's not expecting right now. That goes beyond the money, okay? It's something of value. And in doing that, she's going to be guided in a certain way that's going to serve her without her even understanding how it works, knowing or expecting it to happen. And that's why it will happen, because you're not expecting it.
Mm-hmm. I just noticed your backdrop in your dress, how hollowed it looked.
How what?
Halloween looking.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween, of course it does. We're moving that way, aren't we,
See,
though?
we got little bats in the background, if you can see them.
You know, now, Ray, what day is Halloween? Let's take a look at the calendar right there.
Right,
on
the
the
day
wall.
before the Day of the Dead.
But
isn't it?
what is it, Tuesday, Wednesday, what is it?
October 31st, Halloween Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, so when it's Halloween, you guys, on Tuesday, we'll wear our Halloween mask.
Yeah, we'll wear a Halloween mask for you.
You guys can do the same thing, okay? We'll have fun with that. And then we'll bring the guides in, the Day of the Dead, right? We'll bring the guides in and we'll have them talk with us. It'll be fun, all right? I had to step into that for a minute since Nina started it, all right?
Yeah, Uncle Ray was talking about the value versus the cost.
Right.
I mean, what you buy, what you spend your money on varies with what you value. Because let's say something costs the same amount of money. Let's say you're looking at cars. You're looking at a new car and it's $35,000, okay? Which is the average new car, by the way.
That's scary.
That is scary. I sold cars in the 70s, and you could buy a brand new one for $1,775.
We all remember that. Keep going.
So you're going to spend $35,000 on a car. Now, you could buy a nice new Honda Accord, or you could buy a nice new car for that. Or you could buy a 10-year-old Lexus for that. Okay? You could buy the higher-end Lexus. Like 10 years ago, they were like the 450, whatever they called it. So do you value having people see you drive around in something new to impress your friends, or do you value the luxury of feeling safe and having a nice ride and all the toys and seats that massage you and all this other stuff? I mean, that's the value versus the cost of a new one. Same price. But,
or whatever it is you value. Do you just need a point A to point B?
right.
Or do you even question, how can anyone justify a $35,000 car? Really? Then there's the cost of the insurance and everything. Before you know it, your car owns you like this. You got it. Now you need a job to pay for that. Now you turned into a slave. That's not value. That is not value. That takes the value away from you. Okay. So you've got to look at money in the way that it serves you, in terms of how it's valuable in your life and where you're going. Okay. And you need to get your head around this, because see, this is really what stops us, you guys. Is this thing with money is out of control. It has ruined many lives, because what it does is it consumes a person, and then they don't have a life. There's no life. All there is going to work every day at a job you usually don't like, okay, because you're just there because you need to pay your bills. Mm-hmm. So it's not about that. It's about finding a way to live your life. And I will tell you this, most people will look at the way you're living and judge you if you follow this. They will judge you. They will look at you and go, ew, they will judge you totally. And you know how you handle that? You don't tell them. You don't tell them anything. The road that they're going down is a road of suffering. And you know how come you know that? You've been there.
Yeah.
You've all done it, all right? So even though they would look at you and go, ew, you drive that car, ew, you live like that, ew, whatever it is, whatever the judgment is, you wear clothes like that, ew, whatever it is, hey, they don't fit in your life, move on. They're not part of your value. they don't know what value is. They're still being strangled by being overextended. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. So Veronica,
Yeah.
feedback.
Well, all of that, totally true. Truth stuff. I hear it loud and clear. And also I heard Uncle Ray say at the very beginning that I have a major lesson about love before going into all that stuff about wealth and value. And so that really struck me.
Yeah. So okay, I want you to talk to us. I want you to be brave, Veronica, and come out and let the group experience what they can possibly learn by you helping others, okay, and sharing, all right, and giving. This is your opportunity to give that value so it can be returned. And you never know how it's going to be returned, but take a walk on the wild side. Take that chance and share what that is.
What the thing of value I have is that I can...
As it relates to love. What is it in the love department that's hanging you up that's tied into money?
Oh, God, I feel kind of stumped.
Try to let yourself say it. It's right there.
Well, I don't know. I've had some involvement with family and have had falling out in any kind of love with siblings and stuff like that. And there has been money involved. I don't know. I know that's maybe kind of general, but I'm just trying to beat a bush or something of what that could be about.
Yeah. So there's been the family, your family has struggles around money as they perceive you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Veronica, what is it?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
What is it that the family has a struggle about with regard to you? What is this that they aim at you, and how it ties into the money thing and causes stress in your relationship?
Well, I went and took care of my mother for a year and asked to be paid for that time that I went and did that, and they all agreed. The siblings agreed. Yeah. So that all happened, but by the end of it, because we agreed on a year, I said I couldn't do it anymore. It was really hard.
I know.
And then they wanted me to continue doing it, and without getting paid any money. And
wow.
And then I said, yeah, I don't think so. I'm just going to go ahead and leave. And in a way, I said that. Actually, they said, well, why don't you just leave? And so I said, okay. And then anyway, that's it. That's kind of what happened. And then they became very livid with me and are still angry.
Okay. So in this particular case regarding, it was a condition that, you needed the money to take care of your mom. And what you did, taking care of your mom, come on, she's your mom. Yeah. That's the hardest thing to do. That's the hardest thing to do. And how old was your mom?
90.
Okay, that's awful. I mean, I know some people can do that, but they have extraordinary moms, okay? And it's not the same thing, but that's so rare.
Yeah.
Okay, for you to go in there and take care, and of course she wasn't in her best of health, right, Veronica?
No.
Right.
No.
So you had you had your hands full.
Yeah.
And that situation, okay, let's talk about the return. You got paid to do this. Was it worth it?
It turned into a big mess. I don't know if some kind of karmic thing was paid off or something, and that would be the only way that I would say it was worth it.
It was worth it. How long did she live? Is she still alive?
She's still alive, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So the family is under stress from having to deal with with this situation, right?
Right.
Okay. And because you couldn't do this anymore, has anybody stepped up like you did to take over?
Not exactly like I did, since I had moved in with her. But they hired some, caregivers during the day. But some of my sisters do take turns spending nights there. That's my understanding. But that was the big thing they got mad at me for. They didn't want to have care for her at night, and I insisted that she needed care at night. And when they said no, then I talked to social workers, and then that's what made them livid at me. They said I was turning them in.
Turn them in.
Oh.
So that's the big family.
Yeah. Okay. So it's about this thing with money, and that's just one of those karmic things. I would agree with you and with your family.
Yeah.
Just let your guides talk to you about this.
All right.
Veronica, no amount of money would be enough to trade your life away.
Right.
You weren't about the money as they thought. You wanted permission to leave that situation.
And they didn't give it to you.
Right.
That wasn't nice.
I know.
That wasn't nice. Okay. So what is the lesson in this for Veronica?
When dealing with family, money is an evil adversary.
That's just hard to put your head around, isn't it, Veronica?
Yeah.
I know. I have a whole family of that. It's completely messed up. And what was my solution to it? I had to walk away from it.
Right.
I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried. It didn't matter what I gave them. It didn't matter how much I tried. It didn't matter what I did. It was never enough because they wanted more.
Yeah.
They knew I had more, so they wanted it. All right?
Yeah.
Well, on the other hand, for everybody that read the book, they also didn't think you deserved any of it.
Right.
Because you were brought up all of your life. They told you you couldn't do it. You were stupid. You were ugly. You're never going to amount to anything. And
I was the only one in the family that actually did it.
Right.
So I was the big surprise.
Surprise!
That didn't go over real well. So on
No.
your end of it, Veronica, you might say that you were the big surprise too, because you said enough.
Yeah.
Okay, you pushed back and you said enough. They never expected you to do that.
I know.
And how are you doing with that, Veronica?
Well, I'm surprised. I was feeling really emotional just going through it right now, so I still need a little bit of healing about it. But overall, I know I'm doing the right thing. I'm being true to myself, so
Right.
so I'm doing well.
Yeah, and you're being true to your mom. I'm going to say this.
Mm.
If you stayed there and compromised and caved into all that pressure, that family pressure, you'd be resentful. Anybody would.
Yeah.
Being forced to do something you don't want to do. You resent it. Going to a job you hate. You resent going to that job.
Right.
It's just a natural thing. It's guidance, letting you know, no more. Stop
Right.
it. Okay.
Yes.
So that's what you did. You stepped into the guidance. You quit fighting it. You quit suffering with it. You quit hurting from it. And
Yes.
you said, okay, that I just have to get honest with this. And I have to get real with these people, even if they can't be real about it,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's very hurtful, especially since it's still going on,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to remember, they're the ones who gave you the permission. They told you, why don't you just leave?
Yeah.
And here, let's take a bigger look at this. Let's look at it like this, way out here. Your mom is the center. She's the pivotal point in all this. She's the central character in bringing all this out in all of you siblings, right?
Yeah. Right.
If it wasn't for your mom, if your mom wasn't alive, none of this would be going on, right?
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That's real interesting. So it's her. See, this was all planned before she came here, before you all came here, to learn these things. Now, Veronica, you are the black sheep. All right?
Yeah, definitely.
You stepped out, Veronica, you. And that's how they look at you. You know, who do you think you are, right, Veronica?
Absolutely.
Okay. I have a whole lifetime of people saying, what's that?
I said, how dare you stand up for yourself?
Right. How dare you? Right. How dare you honor yourself and be honest with the family that you did this for a year? You threw yourself down on a bed of nails to give it your best shot, and you came out, like this, going, "I can't do it anymore. Please, I can't." And they had no mercy on you.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Okay.
Yeah.
So are they learning their lessons? Not really well, And did you learn what you needed to do, the hardest thing? And that was to know when it's time to hold them, fold them, walk away, and run.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you did. Now, they're sitting back. Ray's one of those. In Ray's situation, when his mother was sick and dying, the whole family, and Ray paid all the bills. He had, on top of that, you had, what, a $3,000 a month nut to pay for your mom?
More than that.
Okay, to keep his mom in the facility he had her because she had Alzheimer's, and it was not cheap. So he was busy working to pay for the place where she was staying, and they all criticized him for not being there. Well, I'm trying to work so I can afford to keep her in there. So what am I supposed to do? Be there and find a way to work too? I mean, I can't do it all. Instead, every single one, how many relatives?
Dozens and dozens and dozens.
All right. And at the funeral, they were just glaring at him.
Right.
And he had all the funeral arrangements made when she died. Everything was in perfect order. He had already created that 10 years beforehand or so. Ray was the only one that did all this.
For 10 years. All they did was criticize everything I did, butt in between me and the people who ran the facility, and nobody spent $1 to help.
Right. So you know who the guilty ones really are? You can figure that out, you guys. But it's hard when you're the one that's being picked on, and it's hard. So Veronica, your lesson in this is still going on. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I can feel a whole bunch of things just unfolding here that you're gonna. Here's what you need to do. You need to take in your journal, Veronica, you really need to write about this. You need to make yourself say it. You know how I had trouble getting you to say it?
Yeah.
All right. I know. And you got to say it to yourself. You got to write it for yourself,
Okay.
And I know that you're trying to be pretty matter of fact about it and just get to the point, but there's going to be still some stuff that goes on that you just have to let it show up. You got to let it unfold. You got to let it come out. You've got to purge it on paper. All right. Mm-hmm. And I will say this, Veronica, there's a door right here.
Yeah.
The door will not open. See the door open? It will not open until you've solved this, until you've healed this, until you've gotten clear with this, okay, in yourself.
Okay.
It won't open. But there is a door ready for you to open for you, and it's great. Something's waiting for you, but you got to solve this first, okay?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Veronica, where are you in the family order? Are you the oldest?
No.
No, there's 8 of us, and I'm the 6th.
Mm.
You saw her up there, though. Okay.
I see you as being one who was, throughout your life, more financially responsible and did better than a lot of them.
I don't know.
There's some kind of resentment there that they feel.
There is definitely resentment. I don't know if it's financially mainly, but I've been the black sheep for a long time. For one thing, they all stayed living in the same area and I moved away. That was like a major thing.
I was the first one on either side of my family that moved away. You know, most people, especially the Midwesterners who don't like change at all, most of them are born, raised, go to school, work, and die within 50 miles of the place they were born.
Right.
So.
Okay. And Veronica, when you ask for help, ask Ray, Uncle Ray, to help you with this.
Okay.
Ask him for help. Because, see, I'm working on this. I'm going in with my eyes wide open. I want to get what this is because I want to move on with this. I don't want to get stuck in this, okay?
Okay.
And here I'm going to talk about my family for a minute so you can relate. I left Sacramento, California in 1989. That's a long time. I've had a long time to see this, really see this, you know? I mean, from out there, it's not like right here. Like I just left it a year ago, like similar to you. It hasn't been that long ago since you walked away from it, physically walked away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I can only tell you from experience, having walked away from it, what is that, 89, 89, 99, 09, that's like, what is that, 40 years?
40 years.
I can't even relate to it. Now, when I recently had my daughter come back and take a few shots at me, you know, and I thought to myself, God, they seem like they're so much worse than I can remember them. And you know what happened, Veronica?
Mm.
The time that those years I've had away from it, like, thank God, like healing and writing guided and getting, you know, myself back, you know, really feeling like me again.
Yeah.
When I felt that hit me from my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked. And Ray said to me, he goes, you know, Linda, she's not any different. She's not any different. You are.
Oh, yeah.
You're the one who's different because you've healed. You resolved a lot of things. You wrote guided. You solved a lot of things. That's why I wrote these books for you guys to write. This will heal you. I know it because I have done it. All right.
Right.
And you don't have to publish it or anything, but you got to get it out of here. You got to get it out of here, and you got to put it. You got to have a place to put it. You can't just say, "Oh, it doesn't exist. It doesn't hurt me. I'm over it." No, you're not. No, you're not. You got to work through it. And this is your best friend. This is how you're going to do it. And when you do it, your guides are with you, and Uncle Ray is with you, and the whole thing just has a freedom to come out. All right. And then what'll happen is you'll look back at these people as this plays out. Your mom at some point will cross over and the family will respond the way that they do. And you'll see the whole drama play out, you know, and the karmic thing go on and the merry-go-round, you know, and it'll go on. And then you'll be way out here by then, and you'll go, oh, that's disturbing. Yeah, that's only because you've done the healing.
Yeah.
Just because, and I want you guys to know this, just because you've done the healing, don't expect them to.
Yeah.
It's also a very disappointing thing. When I realized where my daughter was coming from, and I thought, God, she hasn't learned anything and healed anything. It hurt me. I thought, God, I mean, I really would hope that she could get it together, you know, not be coming from this depression she's always had. And I know she still has it. I can tell by the way she responded to me. And Veronica, it made me cry. It hurt me.
Mm.
But you see, I also know that there was nothing I could have ever done. This is their journey. And I had to get off that ride, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's I couldn't have had the life I have. I couldn't be doing what I do in my work. I couldn't have done it had I not done that work and healed that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm telling you, there's a door for you, a door, but it's closed right now.
I got to show you something.
Yeah.
Real quick, let me just grab it. I recently moved, so I came across this painting that I had painted like decades ago, but let me just show you.
Yeah, we'd love to see it.
It's right here.
Okay.
Because as you described that.
Oh, yeah.
There's your door.
Wow.
Good.
And it's the yellow brick road, too.
Veronica,
Like,
you're right there.
yeah.
Yeah. I got chills all over me right now.
I know, as you described that, I was like, I got to show you this picture.
Because I keep doing this.
Yeah.
It's the door opening.
Yeah.
I didn't do this. It's like this.
Yeah.
So you see how evident that is for you, Veronica?
Yes. So this is
It's
great.
waiting for you.
Awesome.
It wants you to learn this
Awesome.
and overcome this. And the way you're going to do it is you're going to write in your journal. Because
Yeah.
I know you can do that, okay?
Yeah.
So as you work through it, you're going to cry. It's going to hurt you. It's going to heal you.
Right.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Veronica, right there, right?
I see them.
All right. See what you start, Veronica. I tell you. It just is the way it is, I mean,
Most of these family situations, what they really resent, in my opinion, that I see is they resent that you refused to become their victim.
that's right. That's exactly right.
That you healed and changed and they didn't.
Well, I'm going to rephrase that. In my own family, they resent that I didn't bring them along with me in some way.
Right.
I didn't give them the money that they wanted, that they thought the money would fix them, would make them feel better. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they thought. Because they don't know how to think about it at all. Okay, you guys?
So that was their exact words. You abandoned the family.
Well, I don't feel like that at all. In my case, I got out with my life. That's what I did. Okay, Veronica, that's what you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you've got to work it out. It's not just going to happen, but you've got to write it out. You've got to talk to each one of these family members in your writing. Just write to them. Write to Uncle Ray and write to all them. And that door, that yellow brick road, and that door that's ready to open will open. And you then walk through it, and you are clear and you are free. Okay?
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what this is about. Cool picture. Unreal.
That is cool.
See how this works out? This is amazing.
Okay, we have people we haven't heard from. Rebecca, if you're still there, and Kathy. Here, Rebecca. Are you still there, Rebecca?
She has a
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you have anything to tell us?
Okay, Rebecca, what is it you want to talk about? Your connections in the spirit world.
My husband's father passed a couple years ago, and I don't know if any of you guys have had this experience, but I actually saw him after he died. He came to me, and of course scared the life out of me. And it was a surreal experience. I still can't wrap my head around it, what happened. But he came to me, spoke to me, without words, and just kind of telepathically kind of like put his hand on my head, and some bright light came out of it was a whole experience. Anyway, he said he left me with an impression and a gift, and I feel like I'm not any much closer to him. I don't know if I see, I haven't seen him since, and I don't know if I pick up on anything from him, but I just have it in the back of my mind, like, what does that mean? Like, what gift and what impression? And I don't feel very guided from that experience. Just a little more
I'm going to say this. You were not close to him, were you?
It was hard because he passed away of dementia. And when I joined the family, he had been diagnosed, 3 years in. Sorry, I got my little ones. Hi. Yeah, so I kind of was a part of the long goodbye, I guess. So yeah, I didn't have the opportunity to be very close.
Right.
But he was a wonderful man from what I knew, of him. Yeah.
Okay. So the reason he came to you, do you know why he came to you?
I have no idea, but the funny part is my mother-in-law told me he was going to come to me the day before, which was even bigger, more of a trip. He had visited her in a dream, and he had told her he was going to come see me, and I just kind of laughed it off. I didn't take it very seriously. And then when it actually happened, it was just, like I said, it was seeing a ghost. It was so scary, and
Okay.
it was still.
Well, that's just,
Yeah,
that's just because it caught you by surprise. But it should, by the way, you guys, it should never scare you. All right. They don't. In fact, the reason they don't come to you like what Rebecca's talking about is because they're concerned about scaring you. That's why they don't come to you. They come to me all the time because they know they're not going to scare me.
I think if he came again, I wouldn't be scared. But the first time it happened, it was definitely I couldn't even help but be afraid.
Okay.
Just instinct,
Okay.
know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But they never mean to do that, and that's why they don't usually come through like that, because they're concerned about scaring you. Okay, that's why they don't. All right. But in your case, he came through because you were the one who could receive the message. Everybody else was too close to him. All right. And here's another thing: when they cross over and they have dementia, Ray's mother had dementia. No, she had Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I was saying there's 400 different kinds of dementia. They're all bad.
Anyway, when she crossed over and she came through and we spoke with her, she said, how did she word
First thing
it?
she says, I have my mind back.
Right, that's what she said. All right. So he came through with his mind back because he was gone from here and released from this body that was failing him. All right. Do you understand that, Rebecca?
Yes. Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
So he came to you. He gave you an impression and a gift.
Yeah, and he said there were messages as well, but that happened to me probably, a year and a half ago, and I still just don't feel. I just want to know what it all means because I still feel lost by the whole experience, I guess.
Right. Okay. So, okay. I will say this, that you're still blocking it out. It's there. It's right there, but you're blocking it. You know, that fear, that scary thing, that all that kind of stuff, and all the distractions that go on in your life is what blocks it.
Yeah.
The gift, the impressions, the messages. Let's see what they have to say to her about this.
Once you learn to take yourself out of the chaos of the moment, you will hear things more clearly and be able to understand what they mean.
Okay. I don't know, Rebecca, if you have the journal, My Guided Journey, or the journal writing. Do you?
Yes, I have the journal, and again, like my life is very chaotic right now,
I know. All I
I
can
hardly
say,
get a chance to breathe.
and really, there's two things going on for you, Rebecca, regarding this message, this the impression and the gift, is getting some balance in your life so that you do have that time out and you can do the writing you need to do, all right? So that this can bleed through, this can come through, this can show up, all right? You need to do that. I know you have these kids. I know you have a busy life. You need to do this. The message wouldn't have come to you. He wouldn't have come to you if you weren't supposed to do this. So you could receive these messages. Because what will happen is what's in these messages, impression, gift, will make your life so much easier.
Right. Yeah, just taking, like you said earlier, that moment to write him a letter in the journal and
start
reaching those answers.
Right. And you're going to write it, but then what's going to happen as you're writing it, they or he, I don't think of them as an individual, because when we cross over, we're now one with everything. So they, okay, it's an energetic, it's him, but it's a whole energy that comes through that's trying to get through to you. You know, guidance is all about making your life easier. The guides, your connection to the spirit world, is all about them helping you and making your life easier. Not just your life, but the life of your children and your husband, anybody in your life, you know.
Yeah, just finding that time is key.
Yeah. You need to find that time. It's like if you could go out and find $500 right now, would you? And you knew where to go get it, would you do it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But
how much time would it take for you to go find? I'm going to stop. It's across the street. It's down the block. It's around the corner. It's under the car. You got to open up the this and that. It takes a half hour to go find it, right? Okay, this is a better gift than $500. Think of it like that.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, it's also, you know, once you do have those moments to yourself, and it's like getting out of the rush, have to take care of someone, have to do this, have to do that, like getting your mind to calm down in those moments when you have that time.
Right.
That's like a skill in and of itself. Like
that's a good point. That's a good point. I'll give you a little hint on that one. Have a glass of wine.
I know.
I'm serious. Calm yourself down. Do something, just a little glass of wine to cool yourself down so you can go into that space. All right? Why do they call wine spirits? Okay? There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying sit there and
drink the whole bottle. No.
What I am saying though is whatever you have to do to start to take that edge off you. Okay, if you keep doing this, where you keep finding this time in your day, at least once a day, to do that 15 minutes, you won't need that wine anymore. You'll go right into it. You'll lose the chaos immediately, and you'll be right there in the moment. All right, but you've got to do something to break that habit, to break that chaos that you go through, and I know you do. I know you do that. Rebecca, I know that you're way busy. I know that. So,
you know, but if everybody around you, Rebecca, for the kids and Justin and everybody, all your friends around you, if they're all in chaos, who's the one that must not be in chaos?
Right.
To show them the difference. If not, the chaos just continues at the same level.
It's one big blur.
Yeah. We actually have people who come to Linda for coaching sessions, and they go, well, I don't have time to be spiritual. Well, what? How do you even think like that? I don't have time to be spiritual. Oh, I got to work. I got to make money. I got to do this. I got to go on vacation. I don't have time to be spiritual.
And now go ahead.
I think the environment makes a big difference. You know, when you have an environment where you can just find peace. I've noticed like different places that we're living, it's like some places obviously are more peaceful than others, and it's
I got to tell you
and the energy around you and the people around you make a big difference too.
Yeah, the people around you do. What I will say is that some of the best books that have ever been written were written in a state of chaos.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I really buy that. I think that that's a perfect world, and we don't live in a perfect world. So we still have to find the time. We still can't use that as an excuse.
It's make the time, I think,
Right.
more than find.
Right.
Because it's like, and it has to do with loving yourself too. I think like, all right, I'm important, and I'm going to make 15 minutes for myself.
And here, can I say this to you too, Rebecca? That if you do this for yourself, the people around you will respect you more.
They'll become less chaotic.
They will. They will correct themselves because you're not there to fix it. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when they respect you more, they'll give you that time. They will no longer say, where were you? I mean, you were supposed to do that, and start that kind of stuff. No. They'll start going, oh, they'll start learning from you by example.
Right. Yeah.
This is what Veronica's teaching. Veronica doesn't know it yet, but she's teaching by example. She's the black sheep. That's what black sheep do. It's not easy. It's really not easy what Veronica's going through. But what you're going through, Rebecca, it's doable. I mean, it's totally doable. But you got to do it so that these people respect your space, your time. You're a person too. You know what really is going on with you, Rebecca? You're a person first, and then you're a wife and a mother, all right? But what's happened in your life is you're a wife and a mother, and you're a person last.
Oh, absolutely.
That's not good. That is not okay, Rebecca. Okay? We're all with you on that, right, you guys?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
We got you on that, Rebecca. We got your back.
You can do it.
That's a good feeling. Thank you.
Right? You got to do it. You got to do it. And we've all been hit with that at some point, you know? And a lot of us get treated like the bad guy as we stand up for ourselves and find that 15 minutes in a day, give me a break. That's not asking too much. What? Huh, Ray? That's ridiculous. Anyway, Rebecca.
Okay. Kathy, you've been pretty quiet.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Kathy.
I've missed you guys.
We missed you too. We missed
too.
all of you guys. It was weird not having that week, wasn't it?
It was.
Yes. Yeah.
I know. God. Well, I want to say one thing to all of you before I forget to do it. You know, on the inside, it goes up on the blog, Linda Deir website, right? On the blog, where you guys read the whole thing. And I would really appreciate it if you guys could leave comments on these insights. And especially after we have our little time together, like we do on Tuesday nights, because it helps other people go, maybe they've just watched us on Facebook, right, Ray? Instead of join us, they're still shy or whatever. It lets them get a little bit better, a better perspective on it, not just from me or from the guides, okay, but from you guys. That'd be great if you guys could leave at the bottom of it. You'll see where it says comments. Okay. You can just leave a comment there. That'd be great. And think about it like the comment you're leaving is to help, you know, how we help each other work through these little things with each other each week. It's like helping you guys help the reader work through it, you know, in your own little way, how you can give them that value, you know.
Okay.
Okay. Kathy, what do we have?
Well, did you see my dream while you were out?
No, I saw you posted something that said you had an interesting dream, but it wasn't posted there. What was it?
Right.
Oh, it was in the comments.
In the comments. Oh, on Facebook, Ray? Is that where it was?
Is it on Facebook or is it
Yeah,
on
on Ask the Universal channel page.
Oh, on this private group.
Yeah.
I must have missed that. Oh my God. Kathy.
Yeah, it was quite a long dream with a lot of details, so I'll just let you look when you have a minute.
Okay.
It was pretty interesting, huh, Joy?
Yeah, a lot of animals.
No.
I'll give you my feedback on it when I read it. I definitely will.
Okay.
So look for that.
But as far as who communicates with me, regularly, my mom and dad. But I have a couple of ascended masters who are always around me, Serapis Bey and Merlin. Also Jesus, quite a lot. But Serapis Bey is always there. But I have a lot of angels too that I feel very close to, like Archangel Raphael.
So what your connection in the spirit world, how, of course, when you have these connections in the spirit world, and you know that you do, and you've identified them, some of them, believe it or not, you have a lot more, but those are some of them. What have they been conveying to you? How do you know it's for real? How do you know it's really them?
When I first started my spiritual journey, I would see them in my mind's eye and describe them. I had no idea what an ascended master was at the time. But I would describe them, and my spiritual leader would show me a picture, and I'd say, yeah, that's who it was.
That's interesting. Okay, so what did you learn in this process? What stands out?
The one thing that I think strikes me the most is, I'm a Reiki master.
Right.
And the Reiki comes through your hands.
Right.
I made an observation, I guess about a year ago, to my husband, that every spiritual picture that you see, they're holding their hands out like this. And that's because they're directing the energy towards you.
Put your hands up so we can see what you meant.
Oh, I'm sorry. So we
can't see it.
They're always holding their hands out like this.
Okay, got it.
And that's what I do when I do Reiki.
Okay, like this, got it.
Yeah, so the energy comes from the chakras in your hands.
Right, true, I know.
So that's one thing, but I did a past life regression, and at the time I wasn't real aware of what Serapis Bey looked like. But he was standing at my feet, and a bright white light was coming from his heart chakra. And at first I thought it was Jesus, but I later realized that it was Serapis Bey from a picture.
So what was the purpose in that entity, that energy showing up for you? What was it that they had to give you?
Eric.
Just support to let me know that, because this was my first past life regression.
Oh,
I think
right.
it was just support to let me know that they were there to protect me.
Right. I agree with that. I feel that, and I feel that that's true. That's what they intended. And see, you guys, like Veronica's drew that yellow brick road. That's Kathy. That's the dots, connecting the dots.
Yes.
We're all on our journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's you on your journey, moving you through it, giving you the information that you need to get you where you're going, right?
Yes.
Kathy? And so where is that, Kathy?
Well, my goal is to reach the level of ascension. I don't know if I'll do it in this lifetime, probably not, but that's my goal, is to try to master what I came to master.
Okay, so what's been thrown on your path to test you?
Oh, so much.
Okay, so give us one, show us one.
I had 5 miscarriages. I have 2 live daughters, but I had 5 miscarriages to get those daughters. So I have 5 rainbow babies. I was married for 20 years when my husband ran off with another woman. My husband has multiple myeloma cancer. That's 3. There's 3 things that have been thrown at me.
Right. And so how have those experiences changed you? I mean, where you learned something, where you didn't take it personally. That's a huge part of it. If you took any of that personally, you missed the lesson.
Right.
Okay.
The miscarriages helped me to learn to appreciate what I have. My girls, I'm very, very blessed to have 2 daughters.
Okay. So something, I'm going to shorten this up. In your other lifetimes, you didn't appreciate things. Okay? That you missed it. Something happened. You missed that appreciation. You know, appreciation is gratitude.
Yes.
Okay. Gratitude is everything. I mean, I can only say that my life. People read guide and they go, oh my God. I go, no, I came out with so much gratitude. I've got enough gratitude for the whole world. I have that much gratitude, all right? It didn't destroy me. It made me into the person I am.
Right.
I never would have known this person like I know this person had I not been, those nails hadn't been thrown on my path, all right, that I walked over. I walked through that, right?
Yes.
And came out amazed, okay? Awakened. So that's what that is. That's what you got in this lifetime, where somewhere in your past lives, in your other lifetimes, you kept missing it and missing it. I mean, what? And now you're not missing it. Go with the next one. What about the next one that you mentioned?
20. You were married for 20 years.
And he runs off with some other woman. That guy. Okay.
I think from that I learned that we all have our hand in a situation. So while he was the one who ran off, there was something that something that was missing in the marriage that I wasn't fulfilling. I had as much fault in the disillusionment of the marriage as he did. So I think from that one I learned how to face my own faults.
Face your own faults. That's really good. Okay, face your own faults. Wrap our heads around that one, you guys, right? Face your own faults. Go ahead, Ray.
You're not assuming that he didn't have any faults.
No,
Definitely not.
Okay.
No, she's just
Well,
realized.
some people, when they break up after 10, 20 years or whatever, they think, well, it was all my fault.
Oh, no.
My fault. It fell apart.
Right. I see Ray's point. I don't think like that.
I don't either.
It's not
You're
that.
leaving?
It's.
You got time to pack one small bag.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Face your own fault. So that was your first marriage, right, Kathy?
Actually, it was my second.
Okay. The first one didn't get much fanfare.
The first one was very short.
Okay, there you go.
Almost 5 years. So.
Okay, so the second one. So you learned to face your own faults and what a marriage is or isn't supposed to provide. You know, right? So tell me how that felt when you realized, when you faced your own faults. How did that feel after that 20-year marriage?
It was very enlightening and very, it was like getting rid of burdens. It was very, a lot of weight was lifted off of me.
That's what I was looking for. I couldn't give you that. I needed to hear you say it, you know, because maybe you didn't get that. But that's where, if you got it, that's what it is. All right. Yeah. So you got an A on that one. And how about the third one, Kathy?
The third one made me face and let go of fear.
This was your husband, right?
Right.
I know that's true. We walked through that with Kathy. Remember, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we know that. That was huge. So let's take them down. The first one was what, Ray?
First one was appreciation.
Appreciation.
/ gratitude.
The second one was?
Second one was
facing my own faults.
Face your own fears. Face your own faults.
No, faults.
Face your own faults.
Face your faults and then face your fears. That's massive. Okay? So why do you have these ascended masters around you? You know, you're getting right through it, Kathy. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing amazing.
And the whole goal is on the third one, how to walk through life without fear.
Right.
I mean, what did the guide say in the book? How many times? The biggest tragedy of our times would be what?
Is that most people will die having lived fear-based lives. That is a tragedy. All right. So I'm going to finish up with you, Kathy. In your case, your life is not perfect.
Definitely not.
Okay, it's not perfect. With everything that you've learned, your life is still not perfect.
Right.
Okay, how you doing with that, Kathy?
Working on it every day.
Okay. You know, I see somebody who has their chin up, not somebody like this. I see somebody who's got her chin up. You're good. You're going to get through this. Now you can get through this because you achieved all these, the hurdles. You've jumped over all of them, okay? And there you stand, strong, okay? And still amazed by life. You are. You're very amazed by life. You still feel good about life, all right?
Wonderment. You still have wonderment.
You do, yeah. And when you have that, see, that's how we come in. We come in as that child, that child that wonders about everything, plays in everything, learns, can't stop learning everything, all right?
Yes.
That's who you are, Kathy.
Yes.
You're right here. You are with us on Tuesday nights. You're here with us most of the time. You love this. You love this connection with the group. You love what you learn. You love how you understand yourself better and where you're going each day, each week, you know? So you're doing great. And life is not perfect, and you're still doing really well.
Thank you.
Let's let Kathy's guides talk to her about this. Here they go.
You see life as a mix of experiences and lessons. The goal is to have more pleasant experiences than unpleasant lessons.
And how's she doing in that arena?
Very well. She will have even more wonderful experiences.
That's because you got you did the heavy lifting, Kathy.
Right.
You got the heavy lifting done. Those 3 points that you made are massive.
It's the gratitude thing that
they-
anchors it all.
They free you, is what they do. So that no matter what happens going on around you, you don't have control over everything. You know that now.
Right. Right.
And whatever happens around you, you're okay with it. And whatever's going on, they are okay too, Kathy.
Yes.
All right?
It's like the guides always say, if you're disconnected in this life, your life is hard.
Yeah,
If you're connected, life is easy.
right. We're the ones in our resistance. Oh, I don't want to hear anything bad, or oh, that scared me, or any of those kind of things. It's resistance. Okay, anytime we walk into that and we act like that and we feel like that, it screams lessons. Okay, I mean that's your journey. That you need to walk through that, learn those lessons, and free yourself. That's all it is, you guys. And your connections in the spirit world are here to help you do that. They see it. They see it clearly. And that's why they're there, to help you guys with this.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to talk about what we're going to do next week.
Next week.
And then we're going to close the session with the guides about your connections in the spirit world. Tuesday next week, October 23rd, watch or interact with us right here on Zoom. In Linda's Weekly Guided Insights is where you will receive the link to join us to talk to your guides, to us, and to the group. 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. To be published next Tuesday morning in Linda's Weekly Guiding Insights, the guides will be talking about backing out of your dilemmas. People seem to find themselves in all kinds of dilemmas, personally, financially, work, and relationships. At some point in your life, these are all perceived as dilemmas. Is a dilemma something you must figure out? Something you must question? Something you think you can't avoid? It could be all of these depending on your perspective, which is the basis for how big you will perceive any one of these dilemmas to be.
Dilemmas. It sounds like, they kind of sound like a setup for our life, because everything seems to be a dilemma.
It's when we're we make things into dilemmas when we don't see things for what they are. We see things as dilemmas when we can't control them.
We can't control them when we're overextended by that dilemma.
Right, right. So a dilemma is something that we turn it into a dilemma.
Right.
In every single case. It's not what's really happening. It's what we made it into. Now, let me ask you guys something. Does most of the world turn things into a dilemma?
Yes.
Right. So what kind of role model do you have going on all the time, broadcasting to you all the time? It's one dilemma after another. Mm-hmm. Another word for dilemma would be chaos.
Yes.
So it's an illusion. It's something that keeps you distracted,
right?
That keeps you away from what's really happening and what's really going on. So that's what they're going to talk about. The guides are going to talk about next week, and we're going to look into that. All right. Okay, you guys. So the guides are going to close the session with their closing message about your connections in the spirit world.
Communicating with us is a 3-step process. 1, be inviting. This allows us to come in. We won't enter where we're not welcome. Next, be clear in asking for our help. We may have advice and guidance for you, but don't be afraid to ask how you should implement it. We don't expect you to know all the answers or make it some kind of a riddle to figure out. Once you have our guidance, take immediate action in that direction, even if it's a small step. You must set the energy in motion.
3 steps. So if you need to replay this, if you need to go back after we're done with our session tonight, this will render in about 15 minutes from Zoom. You can go back and catch the end of this and write those things down, because those will help you as you work with your journal and you get these messages and you want to know what the sequence, the order in which this happens. Like Rebecca was talking earlier tonight. I want to go into that for a minute. She said how much it scared her when her father-in-law came through, all right, and gave her that message. And that's the thing that we need to overcome, because the last thing they want to do is scare you. They want to feel invited, that type of thing. So when you invite them, when you invite them to come in and let's say they actually do just literally show up like this. Okay, I mean, I've had them show up physically in front of me, not just a ghost or, I mean, I could smell them like they used to. I could smell the person. All right. And you know, for some reason, I guess because of my lifetime of working with the guides, is I never even questioned how they could do that. It didn't scare me at all. I was more about, so why did you do that? I mean, whatever it was where they left off their life, and I'm going, you know, I was questioning them like they were physically here and they never crossed over, like they were just a regular person. That's the way you want to go about it. You want to go about it like, oh yeah, you know, that's the way I want to remind you of something. That's the way the little child does it. That's why in my guided journey, part 2, taking the journey, that's why that part is so important to do, because it reminds you of who you are. All right. You guys, was this great tonight or what?
Yes.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's my birthday.
What?
Tomorrow's your birthday?
Tomorrow's my birthday.
What are you going to do special for your fun day?
I am not working tomorrow.
Well, that's good.
What are
Good
you
for
gonna
you.
do? What are you going to do?
I haven't decided if I'm going to go to the pottery place and make some pottery, or go to the painting place and paint a painting.
Or if you, whichever one you do, bring it and show it next week. It'd be like show and tell.
That's cool. That's cool. And you know what? Here's the reason that Ray brought that up. The reason you need to do that is because Veronica brought that picture out. And here I was going, you know, the whole
The
time.
door, the
Okay.
Ulrich Road.
And there it was, you know, and so you know how things have synchronicity. There's no accident.
There are no accidents.
So what it is you create, okay, whatever that is, like Veronica drew that beautiful picture, you know, and she felt it, she knew it, it's there. There it is again, it's evident. When you do that, Kathy, and you bring it in, the guides come in, we're all here, you know, and whatever the message is that will